If you're an adult and you're watching this video, have you ever asked yourself the question whether you've grown up yet or not? This may seem a bit odd, but I feel like some people feel a time period where they actually really change and mature and suddenly they know, okay, a new grown-up chapter has begun. For me, this time period were the last 2 years. And as for the beginning of 2025, or whenever you're watching this, I thought it was a nice idea to get a bit cozy with some tea and think about what were the things we noticed that made us think, okay, I think I've grown up. So grab yourself a cup of tea too and join me in this little podcast. Oh, and before we get started, I don't mean like growing up in terms of now I'm dealing with adult stuff like paying taxes and having a job. No, I actually mean like your own self-perception and how you go through the world. How you see the world, how you feel inside your body. What are your values? Your values change when you mature. I hope, I think, I guess, I don't know. But the first thing I noticed, I stopped taking pictures of myself often. I stopped taking selfies. It sounds so stupid, but literally when I was younger, when I was a teenager and I discovered Snapchat, I would not even like snap that much, but I would use all the filters to like take pictures of myself daily to see what I looked like today, how was my skin today, do I look good, and I would take tons of pictures at any given situation, at any given moment. Okay, maybe there were a couple days where I would not take pictures, but it was almost on a daily basis. Whenever I would just sit with my guitar and think it looked cool how I was holding it, or I was just heading out to meet friends. I was not even like dressing up or stuff. And 2 years ago, I deleted Snapchat because I was annoyed and I didn't need it. And I stopped taking pictures that often. Like I still do sometimes, but it's really just a couple times a year on like special occasions, like when it's my birthday and I dressed up like really nicely that day, or if I just had my lashes done, they're just perfect. Other than that, I would be literally annoyed. I would be annoyed if like I take the third selfie and I feel like this isn't working today. I don't feel photogenic today. I would just drop it. Even if I look good, even if I'm going out with friends, like I don't care. And I would even stop like taking pictures that much itself, all this food porn stuff. If it's something really incredible, yes, but other than that, I don't have to photograph every burger I order. Let me get a bit more comfortable now. Okay, next point. My little cute list here actually. Very, very crucial, but that's a development of like, I'd say more than 2 years. I've stopped exercising for weight loss. I now exercise for health. My health is my priority now and not fitting in a certain standard. And these 2 points are really making up my self-concept or showing that my self-concept really has changed. Maybe it's also because I'm getting old and I am now dealing with health issues that I didn't have back then when I was like 15. But now I'm thinking, oh, what type of sport can I do to support my joint health or my blood vessel health? Back then, when you were young, did you think of, oh, this is good for my blood vessels? Probably not. But now this is literally my priority. And the paradox is that my body is actually looking better and healthier now that I'm not actually focusing on like just weight loss itself, and that I have a healthy relationship with food and I'm not stressing as much about that. The side effect is all the good stuff I was trying to get when I was younger now just happens naturally to me as a side product, as a side dish, you know? But I don't want to go too deep into the whole weight loss stuff because it is a sensitive topic and I struggled with it myself when I was younger. So this is not like a tip on how to get in shape, but this is just like my experience on how I noticed my body has changed when I shifted the focus. Like it happened naturally. I didn't force anything, and that's key point. That cannot be forced either. You cannot just want to like do this instead of that if this is what you want. You cannot force a desire. Moving on to additional interests that I have now, I would label as an interest for old people when I was younger. Not old, but definitely older. That is financial education, very important. Financial education has been running on my mind like since this year especially, and I'm thinking about how to invest, and I'm getting more serious in what to do with my money actually. And I realize, even though it's still far in the future, like I will probably not get the means I will need to survive when I retire thanks to the system. No, literally financial education education. I see the importance of it. Though I'm still a student, that will change very soon, but I'm still a student and I still do not pay taxes technically, but I know I'll get there soon. So another additional interest that I never have thought of is interior design. It's random, I know, interior design. It's really specific, but other than when you move, you don't really think about it. I'm not moving, I didn't move recently, but still I'm really interested in these topics. Suddenly I'm like watching the YouTube channels explaining me how I can position my furniture and what furniture I would need to create this atmosphere and stuff. It's not necessarily something that teenagers really think of, right? They think of where they can put their poster of like BTS or stuff on their wall. I was that teenager too, okay? I had posters on my wall. Oh yeah, by the way, this is not just age related. You can be 25 but have the brains of a 12-year-old. I don't want to label it as I was a teenager and then when I was 20 something changed. I'm just referencing for a clearer train of thoughts, let's say. Number 4 would be also something very life-changing, and that is that I don't care as much anymore. As a general thing, I don't care as much anymore about so many things, like not everything, but I care less about things like other people's opinions or the consequences, or rather lack of consequences, of certain tiny embarrassing moments in my life that people will literally just forget, like, and I can move on. When I was younger, I would be overthinking so much about like little things, meaningless things that will happen to me on a daily basis, and I would be like, oh my god, everyone is thinking about it, everyone saw this, everyone's laughing. Now that's actually not true. Like, even me, knowing the people around me, they have the brain capacity of a goldfish. Like, they don't remember anything from yesterday. They don't remember your name. Even if we go to school for like 12 years together, the next year they will probably forget my name. So why do I even care? I think my brain memory got even worse the past 2 years, but I don't remember, so why would they? Everyone is literally so focused on themselves and so self-aware that they don't have the time and capacity to even think about your little embarrassing things. About what outfit you are wearing, how your hair is right now. These things I don't care. But also, I'm not stressing as much anymore about certain things, apart from other people's opinions. But if things happen and they don't turn out the way I want them to be, sometimes that's just it. Maybe it's also because I don't have the energy anymore to stress about that, about a certain outcome not being exactly to my desires. When I was younger, I would be upset about not getting the birthday gift I wanted, or it'd be a bit different. Now it's like, well, not exactly what I wanted, but things happen. Even though that's a really shallow example, but I think the vibe is definitely shifting because it's so meaningless. I have other things to think about now. Or even people who like want to leave my life, even if it's like people who were close to me, I let them go. I will not argue too much anymore because I figure that if people want to leave, they want to leave. But that's probably another depressing topic. I still care, but there's a limit to everything. Ooh, a very nice thing that happened to me, or that evolved, is my confidence and self-love. And I believe that confidence and self-love is not something you like achieve once. You don't have to take care of it anymore. No, it's something that you have to uphold all the time. You continue to build it every day, every time, every moment that is questioning or could question your confidence or self-love. It's something that has to be nurtured like a plant. It's not like you water the plant once and it's good for like years. No, you have to take care of it regularly for it to blossom and shine. It's the same with confidence, self-love, even like relationships with other people. It's not like you get into a relationship once and that's all. No, you have to continuously work on it. Little situations that occur where I would be maybe not as confident or have the self-love I need, I would still try to remind me and be more gentle with me. I think that's also part of self-love. I became more gentle with me. I became more forgiving towards myself. That is something that I'm really grateful for. Oh my god, I'm tearing up like so easily. But that's also a part of me that has nothing, like, that's not a deep thing or something. It's just I'm very emotional as a person. I have to tell myself that the way I feel is okay. That I'm not perfectly confident right now is okay. Like, this is part of life. Contrast is a part of life we cannot get rid of and we should not get rid of. It's more like, how do we handle it? And I'm grateful that I don't give up on building my self-love and confidence. Ooh, another desire that came up within me is the desire to be more private. Maybe that's also the reason I am not taking pictures as much anymore, but I really don't want to post like everything anymore. I'm more mindful with what I share with other people, with the online world. What kind of TikToks do I post? Like, does everyone need to know my opinion on that stuff? And it's not just to be like this mysterious type of person. I realized that if you like keep the moment to yourself and just experience it for yourself, for example, you're eating food with your friends, just experiencing that in the moment, that's like your moment. It's not for share. You have full permission to experience this moment the way you want it. Nothing, no one ever will be judging it or has the right to do it. I think that's when you have like the 100% experience. Or if it's you running like a little girl in a summer field, collecting flowers or something, you don't have to post that flower you just collected. Maybe it's just meant to be brought home, put in a beautiful vase and be enjoyed while you're having your dinner at the dining table. Okay, now I have 3 points left. This one is not as concerned with the topic itself anymore. Well, kinda it is. It's a bit controversial because this whole video is about how do you know you've grown up. I'm not looking for signs of maturing or adulting or growing up anymore. I don't even want to seem adult anymore. Maybe it's a personal thing for me because I was like, physically speaking, for example, I was always looking older than my age. Like, people would usually guess me 5 years older on average, like my entire life. When I was 14 and picking up my niece or my nephew, people think this is my child, you know, stuff like that. And I thought it would stop by the time I'm like 20, but it didn't. It's still going on. People still think I'm 30 or beyond. Like this year, a person guessed me on like 36. I was really sad because it was more than a decade. And come on, I am even more nostalgic for childhood. Like, I'm more into Ghibli movies, which have the stigma of like kids movies, which is total BS, of course we know it. Or I'm rewatching like Barbie movies. I'm rewatching Just Add Water because I don't care about this adult stuff. Like, literally, I want to feel the magic of childhood. And I feel like there's nothing bad about it. My inner child still lives within me. It didn't disappear, it lives within me. And now I am an adult who can take care of that child. So I just threw it overboard. Like, this whole concept of trying to look more mature, being like an adult, acting like an adult, it's overrated as hell. It's not fun. So I'm just doing what I want at this point. Take everything with nuance, okay? Everything I say with nuance. Sometimes you need to be an adult in certain situations. Okay, we get it, but in private, come on, who wants to do that? I was lying. I thought it was 3 points, but it was only 2, and now we come to the last point. And the last point is a bit funny because that has no philosophical background at all. It's a physical aspect that I noticed on myself this year that made me feel horrific for a few seconds. I discovered my first gray hairs, like multiple, not just one. You know, I had like one long hair, and I took this long hair and I could trace back to when it started to grow out gray, because the length or the ends of it were still like brown, like this color I have. And then I would trace it like further to the top, and it would get lighter and lighter until it like turned gray or like almost like transparent. That was really creepy. And then I found another, like a baby hair just growing out completely gray. Yeah, it's not fun. My mom was a bit shocked when I told her. She was like, "You're so young, that's a bit early." Genetics from my dad's side, I guess. I hope I will do it like my brother and take every gray hair I find as a sign of wisdom. I'm getting wiser with every gray hair I find. This is not like I'm getting old, it's actually I'm getting wiser. That's a very beautiful way to think about it. That's what will keep my spirit awake. I really hope you enjoyed this little podcast, this little chat with myself or with the camera. And please let me know what your moments of, "Oh, I think I've matured," in your life were. Tell me in the comments. I'd really like to know your experience on that. If you like this video, I'd be happy if you give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to see more content of that kind. And if you want to find out how embarrassment can be your key to success, then stay tuned and click on the next video that will pop up on the screen in a second. Or maybe you want to find out what kind of music I'm making. That's a second video.